Hey guys, welcome to the Heart of David. Hope you guys are doing well. As you can probably tell, I'm not doing that well, and that's what this video is going to be about. I don't want to make a video right now. Why are you making a video? I was taking a walk yesterday, and it's my abdomen, and I'll explain to you what's happening in my abdomen. I went on a walk yesterday and I remembered, like I always ask myself, when I was sick with pain, what I mean is when I was couch and bed bound for all those years, and my level of pain was at such, it was at a constant 9 or 10 all the time. That went on for years and years, man. And basically from 2004 to 2018, that's the way it was, and some points were a lot worse than others, and I wondered why. I can't remember calling on the name of the Lord. I know I believed in God and stuff like that, but I just never, I thought my mind so many times, I can't remember. Why can't I remember? And I remembered, and I know why, through a walk last night that I went on. So if you don't want to hear about pain, just turn it away, because people don't want to hear about people's pain. But if you're someone suffering and somehow this helps you, then it helps you. At any one time, I can have 4 difficulties in my abdomen. One is called the splenic flexure syndrome, and man, I think that's one of the ones bothering me. I have adhesions on my abdomen. They're quite severe. I suffer with kidney stones, and that Moderna shot gave me a rare gallbladder disorder equivalent to what feels like a gallstone all the time. If you don't believe me about that, you can go research gallbladder hyperkinesia. So I have that. It's just I'm medicated. Usually I'm doing pretty good. I've learned how to, to do everything, to rest right, to walk, to work out in the morning, to eat fruits and vegetables and all that type of stuff. Man, I live like a military life. I'm not kidding you, because I have to, and I like it. And I can't begin to tell you at some times, like now, how hard it is to stay in this shot. And you wonder why I'm eating in these videos? To cover up pain in my stomach. And when I talk, it gets worse. So what is happening to me now? No, actually, I'll say this. So you guys heard of kidney stones, you've heard of gallbladder attacks, you've heard of scars on your abdomen. But this splenic flexure is, it's a horrible syndrome that causes your transverse colon, the colon that goes across, transfers food. It's warped with me, because I had surgery in 2007 in that area, and I developed a splenic flexure syndrome. So what happens is food gets caught. Instead of going a little up and then descending down, it gets caught up in my rib. And then when you go to eat, even when you're not eating, but especially when you go to eat, you start getting a huge amount of colic, GI distress, but colic and nausea, vomiting, that type of stuff. And it's horrible. It really is. And So as you know, don't worry, there's a purpose to this. And I don't want to reveal these things, but you know what? I don't talk about these things. You guys don't know the depth of the things that I go through. I'm speaking, see, you can see my eyes. I couldn't breathe for the last 3 days. I couldn't catch my breath. And I know kidney stones can do that, and I know, I go through quite a few kidney stones. Sometimes I see them when I pass them, but usually they're broken up and you can't see them. They come out in your whatever, And there's identifiable signs like pain in the back, in the kidney area, the lower area there. But I mean, it can go around to the front, to many different sides. It can hit both sides, which it usually does for me. And you're all aware of all the stresses that I have in my life. I have PSW school, personal support working school, addictions counseling, and I can also have 2 other things with that. Like I just earned, I just became a facilitator for like group meetings. I had to go through a course, and I got the certification, and I started to attend. I attended a group for facilitators, and it went okay and everything, but you don't have to show your face in these things. But, I think it's good practice for people to be able to see you. And man, to be able to sit in there, like I'll try to pull up a chair so it's maybe more comfortable. Anyways, you can shut off the camera, but I know I was having issues before that, but trying to do that type of thing, it like skyrocketed, and something was starting to happen to me. The level of the things like the splenic flexure syndrome can push so hard into the splenic flexure that you don't know what's going on. You don't know. Same with kidney stones. You may think you're going crazy. And usually it's a mix of things that happen to me. So I can gauge it. I can take my hand and I can feel like, wow, that's so like I can't move it with my hand. It's stuck in so hard. This is my life. This is why I have to keep moving and walking. So I may go for a walk and feel better because I pushed that through. I don't have a good life in my abdomen. But I keep trying, like it's a horrible thing not to be able to breathe. Like to 99% of people, what I'm going through now would horrify them. I'm not kidding you. So what it feels like right now is like it's hard to burp up. It feels like my stomach and my mid-abdomen are being clamped shut by staples or nails. I'm gonna stop there and then say something else. Just give me a second. So that's what I'm going through. I'm like, okay, take that stress off of those groups and just come back to it when you're ready. And yeah, it was stressing me out. Because you'd have to facilitate meetings that there could be 100 people in that room, right? And that was starting to stress me out. But I can feel there's something really wrong, and it was starting prior to that. And so this is the part that I want to talk about God. This channel is about God, but I've made videos on here when did I? No, I didn't have this channel then, did I? The things that I was going through after the Moderna shot, holy, it was almost like this. And what I'm talking about is just the abdomen, not other stuff. also found out my lower esophageal sphincter, the entry to your stomach from your esophagus, mine is very tight, as tight as achalasia. Just, you have to look what achalasia is. It explains my weight loss. So it's at a number equal to someone who has achalasia. So there's so many things that can be going wrong. And when I couldn't catch my breath, and man, that's probably still going to happen, I pray not. I don't have to wonder. I don't have to wonder why I couldn't remember calling on the name of the Lord to get me out of the mess. For years and years and years and years, you know? Like I'm back in the bed staring at a ceiling, just looking at this, what is it called? The stucco, I forget what it's called. Like popcorn ceilings. And identifying patterns in the ceiling. Literally. Days and days and months on end. Because I was very short of breath then. Because I didn't have this little pill that helps take out all the spasms. And I wasn't eating, and I was very sick. And in that state that I was in, I recognized through this not being able to breathe, I couldn't call on the name of the Lord. Because it's taking away my happiness. I think it's pretty clear why. You know, I would just say, don't forget that, you may get the mind that, why don't they just do this, or why don't they just do that? Because maybe they're in a shape like this, and they're having so much trouble in their life that they're not able to call on God because they're so overwhelmed. That's the point of this message. I don't like giving out the things that I suffer with, but I make a lot of videos on this channel, and these are the things I'm going through. I ask you to pray for me, and some of them say just go to the hospital, but man, I don't think it has anything to do. It's just the things that I usually suffer with, and sometimes it's more severe than others, and sometimes you feel like your whole life is coming down. You can still call on the name of the Lord like David did in deep distress, right? That's what you can do. It's about all you can do in those matters, and ask people to pray for you.